All right, it's getting late already. Let's start this before it's midnight. It is Monday, 11:45, February 23rd. And the first chart has to be, I've noted down a few names otherwise I might forget. IBM, look at this. This is a monstrous, horrible day. Multiple reasons. I'm not even going to go into the reasons. You can read around and find out the reasons for this, but the stock has been look at this. This is quite amazing. Historic high, marked by a black spiky candle in November. Cools off, bounces off the 50-day. Little bear flag there, breaks the 50-day. Bounces, early year. Little bounce there. A little bit of hysteria here, right? What was that about? I don't even remember what that was about. But look, basically we have a marginal double top marked by two black candles. And this is when the horror starts from around 310. You see the initial spike, great example of technical support here. Bounce off the 200-day. Get stuck around a 10 MA. Then we break through the 200-day. There's your red alarm there. That's massive, um, massive warning bells. Bearish follow through there. And you can see they were trying to bounce it here, but just horrible, just weak net lower here. And then of course today, just annihilated. And yeah, you can argue RSI 22, we're oversold, we're prone to bouncing. But does anyone really think the April 209s aren't we're gonna break those, right? We're broken. Look, April. So look at what happened in April. April held for 200-day. In fact, the April low was marked by, look at that. What is that? That's a hollow red reversal candle. The next day was down, but then the following day was a bullish engulfing candle again from the 200-day, and off we went all the way into November. But yeah, that's a hell of a bearish stock. All right, what I go back to before I forget. Okay, S&P on a daily. So, initial upside, full reversal, bearish engulfing candle does bode red for early Tuesday. Just a sec. Note the red gap. I mean, clearly we could easily tag red gap early Tuesday, right? There's no problem with that. That could be done. We've tagged it. We've bounced off it twice already, right? Recently. It's almost certainly gonna fill. If it doesn't fill this week, it'll do it next week, right? That seems a given. My issue is this purple gap. This hasn't been tagged. The market will be prone to coming down to this. Also note, look at this. Look at this. The 200-day. It's coming up. It's going to be in purple gap in second week of March. So I think we have a good chance of coming down to the mid to low 6600s. We could do it next Monday. If there is drama this weekend, we're going to be in purple gap for sure. And we might even tag the 200-day, 65, 50 or so next week. Yeah, this isn't good. Let's jump to the VIX. Look at this. Volatility in the market has been going up since late December. A lot of chop, right? But we just keep on leaning upwards. A little spike there, pull back, and we just keep going back up again. Get stuck at the 20 threshold, leaning back up again, another high. Pulling back, but still just clawing upwards. Clawing upwards. So 22s, 23s resistance. If we can clear 23s, next level is around 28, 29. And we could easily be 30 or so next Monday. Even if there isn't any drama in, where. Yeah. underlying volatility is absolutely going up for over almost two full months effectively. Yeah, a good 8 9 weeks straight up. So we don't get any spike into the weekend. I think we're prone to getting one on a Monday. Anyway, let's go through individual stocks. We will cover gold and silver towards the end. 0.5% up on Apple. It's you can argue structures a bear flag. It's stuck around resistance. I will have to fly through these because otherwise we'll be here all night, and I can't do that. The sector, I've been calling this the sector leader for a couple of years now, and absolutely justly so. So GDX didn't make a new historic high, but Agnico Eagle Mines did 5.4%. A very impressive gain. Very impressive. Top tier miner. American Eagle down 6.4%. Look at Structure. Structure is a multi-week bear flag. Offers 20 to 19, and maybe we'll get down to 18 if the main market rolls over. Moving on. First Majestic Silver. That, I didn't even notice that until just now. That's a new historic high. Impressive. As were recent earnings. AMD, down 1.8%, main market pressure. I would note if a 200-day is lost, as seems probable, then we're looking at red gap's going to fill. And ironically, the target for AMD would be 150, which is the same target I have for NVDA. So yeah, watch for 200-day. This is important. If that fails to hold, we're going down to 150 in March, which I'm guessing we will. Amazon, down 2%, main market pressure. Barrick, sector strength. Boeing has a couple of sequential lower highs here. You got to think, yeah, Boeing 200, 185, yeah. Don't care about the Baba. 3.7% down. Not pretty, right? 200-day goes 41, 42. Yeah, that's a long way down. That's yeah, a good 16, 17%. Bitmine, don't care. Miko, lower high. Again, Carnival kind of held for 200-day. So it looks weak. Coinbase struggling with the main market, down 6%. I think I saw Bitcoin at 63,000 earlier. Looks like Bitcoin's going down to 50K in March. Deckers, Friday, black candle, played out. Today's candle is a reversal, leans bullish for Tuesday. Disney down 1%. I need to skip through these. A little struggling there. Ford down. Again, note the importance of the 50-day. If that fails, as it should, down we go. Freeport. Google. Google stalling at the 50-day. Natural target would be the 200-day, 246, and then this big old orange gap. Home Depot has earnings early Tuesday, which should be okay. I'm concerned that guidance might be a little bit weak though. Today's candle is borderline bearish engulfing. I would note we have a spike from support. I mean, it's a good example of, look, we have a spike from the 200-day, the 50-day, key price threshold. So there's buyers out there, but if this loses the 200-day, then we're looking at this, aren't we, right? Don't care about Heckler today. Intel trying to hold the 50-day. Joby down 3%, main market pressure. Assuming the main market goes down into March, we're looking at what, sevens, sixes. Good company. I like it for the midterm. JP Morgan, 4.2% down. Look at this. It is testing for 200 day. Oh boy. If this gets the daily close under this at any point, then we're looking at what? 245, 250. Yep. Yep, that looks probable. KKR down 8.9%. This is horrible. Look at the financials. They just roll. They've been rolling over since last summer. They kept trying to bounce here, especially, but they keep putting in lower highs. Now we have a lower low. Next low is 85, which reminds me of two stocks. Blackstone down 6.2%. Blackstone has, yeah, we've taken out the April low. Remember, this was when the S&P was 48.35. 48.35, and Blackstone's already below that. So where's this going to go next? $100? $100 looks easy. And that reminds me of Owl Capital, well, Blue Owl Capital. I mean, look at this. This one took out the April low, I mean, long time ago, like November. So we're down 3.4%, 1044. Next support is around it's 7, I think. Let's just go back a little bit. Moving on from KKR. Kinder Morgan, that might be a new historic high, actually. CRE, regional banks struggling again, testing the 50-day. Doesn't look great, does it? So it looks like you got to think Meta's got to fill this gap. Maybe come down to 520. Is it actually look? There's another gap there. So there's a third gap that goes down to 500, which I accept is 20% down, but um, that kind of looks probable. So yeah, there's a red gap to fill, and also a third gap not marked yet, but I should add that later. MP Materials, $30. Yeah, I like the company, but Friday's close was the first under the 200-day since May. If the main market goes down, this is going to 30. Microsoft, ugly day, new cycle low, settled on key price threshold. I mean, below this, April 342s. Yeah, I should say micro slop. Micron just down on the main market. Netflix, new cycle. Actually, was that new cycle low? Looks like it. I mean, structures a baby bear flag, down 3.4%, 76s. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there was a story in the morning. Trump wanted somebody to, I don't know, some kind of Netflix related story. Trump wanted somebody to resign. Again, note back in April, Netflix found support for one of just above the 200-day. Netflix lost for 200-day in October, November, and just can't retake it. And look at how the 10 MA is resistance. So basic target is 70. Below 70, 62 to 60. I'm starting to think 62 to 60 looks more likely than not now. Nike. Friday saw a attempted spike on the Supreme Court tariff ruling, but a full reversal. Massive sellers came in, and today is confirming that failure. Down to 3.5%. Soft target is red gap 58.57s. It could easily do that in a couple of days. Short-term bearish Nike. NVDA. Some buyers were coming in. Earnings are due Wednesday after hours. Today's candle is not black. We did close above the open. I'm guessing Tuesday and maybe early Wednesday will be up, assuming the main market is. But I'm starting to think if the 200-day can be taken out, which is 173, target will be 150. I am thinking about shorting NVIDIA. but not until the State of the Union speech is out of the way. Also, I think NVIDIA might be up early Wednesday anyway on hopes of earnings, right? We literally saw that today. People coming in, short-term speculative buyers. But if the 200-day goes 173, we're going down to 150. If you believe the AI bubble is in the process of popping, then well, you can see what's down there, 100, which I accept is about what, 46, 47% down. I'm not looking for that. I am looking for 150 though. That looks doable. We could be printing 150 by mid-March. For earnings, there's actually a little gap here. It's not noted, but there's a little gap that goes to around what, 175. That's $15 down. That's about what? It's about 7-8%. Certainly, it could be a hell of an earnings event on Wednesday. Moving on. There's so much to cut. There's so much. I don't even know where to begin sometimes. It's like, where do I even start on some of this? Palantir down 3.5%. Again, 126 support's already been tested. I think this is a $100 stock in March. Mr. Berry will be very happy about that. PayPal jumped almost 6% on hopes of well, speculative chatter that maybe somebody wants to buy the company wholly or maybe partly. I mean, it's profitable, and the stock is cheaper than where it was. Look at this. It was 79 here, 39. Basically got cut in half in the space of 3.5 months. Yeah, I'm just jumping through some of these. Again, net bearish with the main market, Rocket Lab. SMR, they had another 6% in the 12s. It's incredible. We're approaching the April 11s. Remember, this was when the S&P was 48.35. Incredible. Target. Friday's candle was spiky. Down with the main market today. Tesla, down 2.9 again for 200 day. It's not going to hold, is it? Little micro red gap. 350, 340s. Yeah, probably. Take two, don't care right now. Airlines struggling. Again, if oil prices spike, then transports will get hit especially hard. United Health down 2.5. UPS short-term broken. You can argue this is a bear flag. Maybe come down to the 50-day at least, 106, 107. Exxon structure is setting up a bullish pennant. I've not drawn it on here, but there's definitely a triangle structure. Again, if energy prices spike on Monday or shortly after, then Exxon's could be pushing 160. All right, we need to get around the gold and silver before I completely forget. Yeah, I'm just looking at my notes. I do take notes sometimes. Just a quick look at Bitcoin. 4.5%, 64K, printed 63. Actually, look on a monthly chart. Look at this. Look at this. We're just going broadly down anyway, right? It's not like this is, it's just horrible. There was the break. There, this gigantic down wave. And we keep trying to bounce and they keep selling into it. So if 60K doesn't hold, which I'm guessing it won't, where's the next support? Well, that's easy. 50/49, right? That's another 20 odd percent down. That's that's not gonna be pretty for them, right? And below that, I mean, there's a bit of support around 35. Of course, ultimate support is 20K, but I accept that's crazy talk because that's another 65% down from where we are right now. But yeah, 50K looks pretty straightforward. Oh my God, let's keep going. We're running out of time. I know your attention span is short. Gold. Gold up $132 on the day, 2.6%. 52.41. Momentum is going to turn positive on Tuesday. Yeah, we're going up again. I mean, I'm starting to wonder if we got to print 6,000 in March. Let's jump to silver, commodity silver first. Yeah, see, this candle isn't right. It's wrong. But according to stock charts, roughly at $4, 4.7%. Momentum going to turn positive on Tuesday. Gold, silver look pretty good for Tuesday. Let's go to silver on a. We'll look on a real tight chart. So we have a legacy gap here that hasn't been dealt with. We have another one partly dealt with. Today filled a teal gap that goes back to February the 5th. Ended right at the high of the day. Very impressive end of the day. Next resistance are the 82s. And then we're looking at about 89 to 90. So there's a there's $9-10 upside here. At the current rate, either we're going to print it on Thursday, Friday, or Monday. And you got to wonder if there's any drama this weekend. Maybe 95, 100. I mean, this gap it's going to have to get tagged at some point. Anyway, oh yeah, oil. I almost forgot about oil. Oh my God. So, hourly chart, which I'm starting to annotate now because I'm considering going long oil. Um, Oil opened up, new cycle high at the open, but it did cool back. And I'm wondering if we're going to tag, not necessarily fill it, but at least tag or get near to orange gap either tomorrow or Wednesday after the State of the Union. I want to buy oil somewhere around, well, somewhere when USO is 78. That's almost $3 down. It's possible. I mean, look, you could just get a down wave like that tomorrow, maybe. And if not, well, maybe Wednesday. I will note today's candle was black, leans bearish. Look at the last black candle. Bam. So I wanna buy with that. Red gap, no way. It's not good. It's too far down. Let's look at commodity oil. Officially, according to stock charts, commodity oil is actually fractionally down around resistance. On a weekly chart, we're actually marginally above resistance. Natural target 78, 79, 77, somewhere around here. On a monthly chart, which is what I think really catches my attention. Look, monthly momentum has been ticking up for a couple of months now and finally turned positive last week. It might turn, it probably will turn negative maybe tomorrow or whatever, but I still think into March we could have a little jump, maybe get to 77, 78 next week. And it's not bold. It's not bold at all. What do I want to end with? Hmm. You know what I want to end with? Dow. Where is it? There it is. I want to end with this. Look at that. That's a hell of a chart, right? Look at these little spikes. They were selling into the spikes, into the rallies. We have 4 trading days left of the month. We're down 26%. It's a hell of a thing to see. I mean, it looks like we're going to be printing $200 pretty soon. It could even happen before the end of the week. If not, then next week. A lot of support around 170, 180, 170. around here. But you got to think we're going down. And when you look at the monthly, look at this. We've only we've only just had momentum turn negative this month after going up for 3 years. 3 years of upside. We've only just turned negative. We could go down for months. And of course, if that was the case, then you're looking at this all the way back down to 120 or so, which is another $100 to go. You think, well, that's crazy. Well, we're down 81 so far, and we've only just turned negative. So you add on a couple of candles there, a March candle, an April candle. What if the market's kind of struggling to the autumn? I mean, that's again, I know I said it during a space today, but you got to think how many retail traders were buying this. Have been buying. Look, there's the break under the 10 MA 274, which is $51 up. People, retail traders are buying this all the way down, and you got to think the March candle's going to be like somewhere down here, to even below 200, probably 180, 170. Look at that. There's a bit of support from over here. That gets you to 180-ish, 180, 190. That's another 15% down. That chart does it does, and it should. There's a few other little ones in the Dow that I might want to highlight actually. I mean, I'm going to quickly go for a few. Salesforce, look at that, horrible. Um, oh yeah, American Express is another one. Look at that. Look at this. Break a trend. Momentum. Look, momentum has turned negative as of today. Monthly momentum has turned negative for the first time since there, which was late 2023, which was when all this rally began from 134. American Express is broken. It's broken. JP Morgan, look, it's rolling over. It's about to break. JP Morgan. Look at this. Look. Look at that. We're going down. It's about to turn negative. Might happen this week. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. It's going to be down here in March, down here in April. You got to think, well, break a trend. What are we looking at? I mean, 250, 260, 250 looks pretty easy. JP Morgan's broken. And there's Microsoft, of course, or Micro Slop. Again, if this breaks the 50 MA, alarm bells. And it looks like it's got to do it. Microsoft's in trouble. Visa's another one. Look, where's it going to go? 260, 265 looks pretty easy. 250. Yeah, 250. 250 would be my target for Visa. Yeah. And yeah, Apple's up, but you can see they're starting to sell into the rally. What chart do I want to end on? Hmm. No. Maybe someone should let um look at this. The horror. The horror. The Dow is not above 50,000. We're already back down to 48,804. We're now net lower for the month. We're only fractionally net lower. So now we're only up for 9 months, and month number 10 has turned red. Momentum is rolling over. And yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm going to end with the S&P on a monthly because look, we have 4 trading days left of the month. S&P is currently down 101 points, 1.5%. Again, it's a lot of chop. It's very similar to last February. Look at that. And then we snapped. We're stuck. If the 10 MA gets taken out, we can come down to here, which is roughly 5,500. That's a long way down, right? Look at this. Look at that. It's either going to turn negative in March or April. So, interesting day. Tuesday should be kind of interesting. Home Depot earnings. But more so, we have the State of the Union Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. I will be watching, of course. It'll be interesting. Mr. Market will be watching. I'm guessing we're going to get a little bounce. And then we have NVDA earnings. And the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking about shorting it. Something to consider. There's no hurry. I certainly wouldn't want to short NVIDIA ahead of the State of the Union speech. I'll consider it Wednesday morning. Other than that, I wish you a good evening and have a have an entertaining Tuesday. Be good.